I teach 4th grade digital learning.
I am Ms. Ross, and I teach reading, writing, and social studies.
I'm Mrs. Glover, and I teach ELA, reading, writing, social studies, science, and math.
And I'm Ms. Tucker, and I co-teach with Ms. Mandy Ross, and I teach math and science.
Parents, we're going to begin today with our essential standards. Essential standards are the standards in our curriculum for math and for reading that we target during the school year. And our goal is that if our students master these standards, they will be successful and ready for 5th grade. All right, our first standards that we're going to view today will be our reading essential standards. Our first semester, we have 3 standards that we're focused on. Describe in depth a character, setting, or event in a story or drama. And our goal is we want the students to draw on a specific detail. They have to have evidence. And we give them strategies to do this, and we want them to look at the character's thoughts, words, and their actions. So for the students, they will have an I can statement that they are able to use to help them understand this learning standard. So our I can statement is, I can use specific details to describe in depth a character, setting, and event in a story. So I have an example of a book that we have been using in class, and this book is entitled Each Kindness. Now with this book, we have been looking to ask ourselves, who are our characters? What is the main character? What is the setting? What is our rising action, climax, and falling action of the plot? We also call that the story mountain. The students will be using that in reading, and it will also cross over to their writing because they will be writing as realistic fiction writers also. So in this book, our main character learns a valuable lesson, and her name is Chloe. Now we have gotten to know Chloe by looking at her thoughts and actions and details, and we have decided that she had some actions of a bully. And we went through that detail by detail and step by step to determine that she was a bully. Our second standard that we will see today is our standard for theme. Our standard says that we will determine the theme of a story, drama, or poem. And once again, you will see the words details in the text. When you see that, that lets you know that the student will have to go inside of their poem, their story, their drama, to pull out specific details that will help them prove their point. They will be able to say, I know this is the theme because, and they will use specific examples from the book. Now we will also be summarizing the text, and we will also use different books, in which we have already been doing and will do throughout the year, to compare different themes and find similar themes, inside of books. So let's jump to our I can statement. I can determine the theme of a story and summarize the main points. So once again, going to Each Kindness, our author gives us a clue in the title of what our possible theme we could have, Each Kindness. Now I mentioned Chloe earlier, that she had the characteristics of a bully. Well, towards the end, Chloe regretted a decision that she made with her bullying, and she wished she could go back to actually show kindness. Now as we went through our book and we took our characters and we analyzed them, we were able to find different themes, not only the theme of kindness, but also the theme of belonging. Because the new girl, Maya, they bullied her and they did not make her feel like she belonged. And also just accepting others. So we have taken these things and we have gone throughout several books already in the past 3 weeks. So we are so excited and eager to continue this. So things we need to know for this standard. I need to be able to identify the theme, summarize the text, and I can do all that by looking at my characters' actions, thoughts, and feelings. And if I can identify the problem and tell what lesson my character learned, I know the thing. Our last essential standard for our first semester for reading is to demonstrate the understanding of figurative language, word relationships, and nuances in word meanings. Now, that's a lot of big vocabulary inside of that standard, so we like to break it down. I can explain different types of figurative language. Throughout the year, we will introduce different types of figurative language to your child through all of our different books that we will read. For example, they will learn similes and metaphors, idioms. Those are some figurative language types that they may not know now, but we will use our text. For example, in our book, we hear an example of figurative language. It says, "This is what kindness does," Miss Albert said. "Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world." Right there, the teacher compared using acts of kindness to others. She compared it to when you drop a pebble in the water and the water ripples and it goes out. Well, if you have acts of kindness to others, then they will show acts of kindness and it will just explode and kindness will be everywhere. So that was just making sure the students understand the text so that they will be able to understand and find the theme of the text. So we'll be working with similes and metaphors, know the difference between synonyms, antonyms, and homonyms. We'll be able to identify idioms, adage, and proverbs. So those are our 3 essential standards for reading for our first semester.
Tucker, and I'm the math teacher and I co-teach with Miss Ross, and I wanted to go over the math essential standards for our first semester. The very first essential standard for math this semester will be to fluently add and subtract multi-digit numbers using standard algorithm. Now all that means is that you are adding and subtracting, quote, the old way, or how you're going to be stacking those digits according to place value. We're going to teach students how to add and subtract using the regrouping and borrowing strategy. And our I can statement will be I can add and subtract multi-digit whole numbers by understanding their place value and using various strategies. The great thing about this standard is that they can use multiple strategies. We are also going to focus on using standard algorithm to prepare them for the second essential standard for the first semester. We'll have students multiplying a whole number of up to 4 digits by a 1-digit whole number and multiply two 2-digit whole numbers using strategies based on place value and the properties of all operations. We have students illustrate and explain their calculations by using arrays and area models. Now multiplication looks a lot different than when me and you did it back in the old days. We actually use a strategy called the area strategy or the box method. This is where students will break apart each number into its place value, and then they will actually perform this operation to get their product for multiplication. I will be sending home lots of resources on how you can assist your student with this new strategy. The I can statement will be for I can multiply whole numbers 4 digits by 1 digit or 2 digits by 2 digits using strategies based on place value and models. The last essential standard for our first semester is decompose a fraction as a sum of fractions with the same denominator in more than one way, recording each decomposition by an equation. What this means is that in the month of November, we will be focusing on fractions and building our conceptual understanding of fractions. Decomposition means that we are taking a fraction such as 7/10 and we are decomposing or breaking it apart in more than one equation. Students will be able to break apart or decompose a fraction into smaller parts with a sum of fractions with an equation. This is the building blocks for our second semester with other essential standards in math.
Hi parents, I'm Miss Ross and I teach ELA and social studies. I wanted to go over some grade level expectations that we're expecting from you and from our students. The first one is parental involvement. We need you. We need you at home helping your child do their homework, make sure their homework is being completed, make sure they are reading every night. If you need anything from any of the teachers, please feel free to dojo us and send us a note there. We don't always check agendas every single day, so dojo we do check daily. Classroom agreement, we made in our reading class, we made a classroom agreement for each class. It's something that the students helped to create. We asked the question of how do we make this class a great class, and the students would tell us different things, and we made an agreement and we all signed it, and this is something that we're going to hold them and the teachers accountable to as we grow this year in 4th grade. A great little tip that we were thinking was maybe to find a nice quiet spot at home so your child can do their homework or maybe read their book. A lot of students we're hearing that don't really have a spot at home to do homework. So maybe try to find them a spot, whether it's maybe at the kitchen table and they know that they have some pencils and things that they can grab and go there. Maybe they have a little desk in their room. Just finding a spot where it's quiet, where they don't have siblings coming to talk to them or try to entertain them, and they can try to get their work done every day at home. Homework procedures, it's going to be the same throughout 4th grade, which is awesome. Math, they will have a math homework sheet that will go home every Monday. It is a column for each night. They're supposed to complete it. We do give it out on Monday. It is due on Friday. So we understand that, we have things going on every day. So if you know that you have something going on Wednesday nights, the students might want to go ahead and try to get Wednesday nights completed another night so they can at least try to stay on track. But we would rather them do a little bit every night instead of doing it all one evening. It's just a lot of work for one evening. So if they break it up and do a little every day, that sounds like a good plan. Reading, please, 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 as your reading teacher, please make sure they're reading every single night for at least 30 minutes. It is so important for them to read every night. Because of being out of school for 4 to 5 months, our students are not at the levels they should be generally at the beginning of 4th grade. So we are aware of that and we are ready to get going. One way for them to really, really increase those reading levels is to read every night. We have books that can go home with them. Miss Glover and I are choosing books for them since they can't go and grab from the libraries or go to the media center. So we are choosing books for them on their levels that are appropriate and books that they do want to read. So please be asking them every single night to make sure they've read. Make it a habit. Maybe they do it right after dinner. Maybe they do it right before they go to bed. They should be reading Monday through Thursday without fail. Whatever's going on, they need to be reading every night. And then I kind of asked maybe one night on the weekend would be great. One day on the weekend, whether it's a Friday night, Saturday or Sunday, they still should be reading for 30 minutes. Sentences, we have these sentences that we correct every day. We did a practice round this week, and it is in their binder in a sheet protector so they can have it as a reference. But there are 3 sentences that they have to correct every night, and we will check it quickly each day, just checking for completion, but it really does catch some of the little grammar things that we don't get to hit every single time. It does catch a lot of things, and we do let them know how many errors to look for, so make sure they're completing that also. And then spelling homework is going to also start next week. They will have a little small spelling packet that they will complete, and it will be given on Monday and be taken up on Friday. And there will also be a spelling assessment on Friday. Lexile levels, milestones is around Lexile levels. It's just another way to level students. And those levels will be going home this week on their progress reports. I believe progress reports go home on Friday this week. And look at those levels. We understand where they are, and we understand how we're going to get them there by April and May. Reading at home is going to help. Some of them we are very happily surprised that a lot of levels are right where they're supposed to be, and we want to continue to keep them where they are and raise them up even higher. Make sure, I wrote it again, make sure that your student is reading every single night. We just cannot stress it enough. There will be a sheet that will be in your student's binder, maybe where the sentence one is, And one side has a wonderful graph that looks like this, that has a graph of why can't my kids skip 20 minutes of reading? 20 minutes of reading, what is it gonna do? Oh, it is a lot. So students who read 1 minute each day will read about 8,000 words and there are studies to back this up, will be in the 10th percentile for testing. Students who read 5 minutes a day, and this is outside of school, school does not count. They will read 900 minutes in a school year, and they will read 282,000 words, and they will be in the 50th percentile. 4-minute difference. 20 minutes a day, they're gonna have 3,600 minutes read in a school year. 1.8 million words, 90th percentile. This speaks volumes. There are studies to back this up. This is the best. This is why kids do need to read every night. It does make a difference, okay? On the back side is going to give you a little bit information on Lexile levels. If you would like to search for Lexile levels, you can search, and I believe it's just Lexile.com. I believe it's very simple. If you just search Lexile level in Google, you can pull up the range where your student is and try to find some books for them. Maybe you have a great library at home, but you don't have the Lexile levels. That's a good way to also check that. We just want to make sure that they are reading on their level, little higher, so that we can push them and have them grow as readers this year.
Hey parents, the next topic that we want to talk about is grading. It's such a hot topic now in elementary school, so we wanted to go over how grading is going to look this year and how it differs from 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. Typically, back last year, even last year, the grading was different in our system. We would grade based on tests, homework, or even assignments and class averages. This year it's a little bit differently, and we've broken down the percentages for you so you know how your student is being graded and how much it weighs. For our major grades, that includes unit tests, summative tests, and major projects. That is 25% of their overall grade. We typically will give 1 to 2 of those per semester in each grade, in each subject. For minor grades, that includes formative assessments, tickets out the door, quizzes, short projects. That is 15% of their grade, and they typically get 1 per week in each content area. Daily, it includes daily practice and even participation. When your student is focused, comes to school, that weighs 60% of their grade. So that's why we really want to focus on attendance, your student being here, they're on time, and that they are here and focused. That includes, are they participating with their journals, with their reading assignments, with their math? So again, that is 60% of their grade. These percentages are also higher than our 3rd graders, and then it will increase even more in 5th grade. So please be aware of how this grading system works, and if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us on Class Dojo.
Hello parents, our next topic is communication, which is so very important. We need to stay in communication with you at all times. Our first way and our best way to communicate with us is through Class Dojo. You can send us direct messages, the classes that have Ms. Tucker and myself. You can send her a question, or you can send me a question, so which is very helpful. We do check Dojo every day, sometimes more in the day. But if you are sending some type of transportation problem, please make sure that you get a response from us, because we don't always check it towards the end of the day. I know after lunch, I am nowhere near a computer or my phone to be able to check that. So if there's a transportation issue, just give the office a call. Also, we do make phone calls. Please make sure that we have your correct phone number at all times. I know that form went home last week to update all information, and the office is in the process of getting everything updated through our Infinite Campus for us. But if your number were to change at all during the year, especially with this year and with all the fun stuff we get to go through, please try and keep those phone numbers updated with us, with both teachers, if it's the 2, or with Miss Glover. The agenda, we do use the agenda. We don't use it as much as lower grades does, but we do use the agenda a lot. We will write down maybe when tests are, family nights, and things like that. We will write down in the agendas. Thursday folders, we did something a little different this year. We decided that we would use the dividers, a divider that the kids already have like in their binders, but we would use it a divider with a 2-pocket. So this divider is going to stay in your child's binder all the time. It will never come out. So when you get home, when they get home on Thursday, and we are going to do it every other week, we'll send homework. And on the front side, it says return to school. And so if there's anything that needs to come back, a form, or we need you to sign something, we'll put it there. But everything else is going to be in the back on the keep it home. And so every Thursday, you just need to clean it out. This is still attached to the binder, but just take it out and then go through the work. Please go through the work. It is really important for you to go through the work with the kids. I know we sent home in ELA, we sent home this week a juice box bully packet that we worked on the first couple weeks. And that is basically the majority of our ELA standards right there. So go through it with your student. I know my 2 classes, we marked up little things and we put little symbols. So ask them what do those symbols mean. It also keeps their little brains going. So communication is very important. If there's anything you need from us, send us a JoJo message and we will get right back to you.
All right, parents, to wrap it up, we want to talk about attendance. Now, you've heard us say this several times throughout our meeting today, but please send your child to school. And the reason why is because each day we are learning something new. We are gathering new materials. And when your child comes in, they show frustration. They show frustration because they feel behind. They feel as though they can't catch up, and they feel as though they don't have what they need to be prepared. We do all we can to catch them up, give them a little side mini lesson, but it changes a little something in them when they feel that way. So if they can come to school, please send them. Just a little reminder, it is crucial to them growing as a learner, and very important, students with 8 unexcused absences will go on an attendance contract. So you will have to speak with Mrs. Brooks. That's our assistant principal in the office, and she will give you a contract and be able to speak with you more about that. So let's avoid that. And the way we avoid that is coming to school. And if we can't come to school, then please send an excuse with your child. If they're absent, get one from the doctor, or you may write your own excuse. Let us know via Dojo that they're going to be out today, but still send a written excuse so that we can send it up to the office. And also, please let us know if you want them to leave early. We can speed that up with you. We can have them ready. But just remember to send an excuse. An excuse absent will not get you on a contract.